And that's where we left off?
That's right, I said with a nod. That's where we left off before you called my story ridiculous. Sarah rolled her eyes but smiled.
We don't need to recap what's going on here, Ant.
Are you sure? I asked, raising and lowering my eyebrows. I sure could use a refresher on the events leading up to your pure-hearted panic.
You stop that, you sinful man.
With a scoff, Sarah reached up and grabbed my face, pushing it so I was looking away from her. I opened my mouth and bit her fingers gently, causing her to pull her hand away in shock.
Why would you do that? Do you know how dirty the human mouth is?
She asked, wiping her fingers on my chest to clean them. Does that mean teaching you how to French kiss is off the table? I retorted, resuming my eyebrow waggling.
Absolutely sinful. You're a bad influence.
She laughed. Biting is a natural form of affection. Sometimes.
Biting is an attack, Ant.
Are you for sure about that? Is that a challenge for me to change your mind? Sarah quickly shook her head.
No, it is not. Can we get back on topic?
I couldn't help but chuckle. All right. So, best case scenario, I spend a day grinding and then bribe my way past the forest guard to lob a relocation grenade at the Vespae queen. She gets teleported leagues under the sea and victory for Etson is complete. Patron bidding opens and I'll leave town before the Etson faithful have a chance to lean into their downfall. I paused. Shall we get back to that refresher then? Once again, Sarah shook her head. She was absolutely adorable.
What about the worst case scenario? She asked. You said that was the best case, but you always said that nothing ever goes completely to plan.
That's true, I agreed. There's so many moving parts that a lot can go wrong with one sentence said at the wrong place at the wrong time. But the worst case scenario, huh? The worst case is that everyone dies. Gabrielle dies, Tommy dies, I die.
You're not going to die,
Sarah scoffed.
You're not allowed to. You have to make it back to me.
My very own guiding light, I chuckled, kissing the top of her head. Okay, so not the worst case scenario, but I suppose if anything were to go wrong, I'd say it would be all 3 strongholds going down.
What will that do?
So normally Gloria, Tommy's sister, and some of their crew take out the first of the Vespae strongholds. I take down the second one, and I warn the head honchos not to take out the third one.
Do they actually listen to you?
Mostly, I guess, I answered, thinking back. The priest who shall not be named never likes it, but he wants to put on a good face for Tommy. Usually what I end up doing is telling them to prepare to take the stronghold I'm after in case I fail. That divides their forces enough that they don't go after the last one.
Okay, that makes sense,
Sarah said, nodding.
So what makes it so bad if all 3 go down?
It means that there's a lot more Vespae coming from the forest, I answered. Instead of a fairly intense stealth mission, I'm forced to play war with the head honchos on a united front against the wasps. There are mobs that we can make friendly out there that can join Etson, but the day of preparation isn't really enough to get any stellar results.
Friendly mobs like who?
The kobolds, mostly, but if I can't seal the deal in the first few hours, then I'll leave it for Tommy to deal with later, I admitted.
Because you have a war to prepare for,
Sarah stated. I nodded. Yep, because I have a war to prepare for. And it all starts with a flower delivery.